What I'd like everybody to do is go to our course materials for term 1 and go into the assignment Maya files, and I want you to grab this folder. So this assignment is different than the other assignments. Instead of it being just a Maya file, it's a Maya project folder. You need the entire folder, okay? It's called LAMP Hop. So I want you to grab this folder, copy it, and paste it onto your desktop or wherever you're working. Then fire up Maya. We'll open this up and have a look at it. Now today's assignment, if you look here, we're going to be looking at the LAMP Hop demo. There we go. I'll open up this one. What we have is a lamp that is going to be jumping across the screen, just like Pixar's lamp, okay? And it has a problem that it needs to solve. And here's the sample. So this is the assignment. You have a lamp rig that we're going to look at in a minute, how to use it, how to animate it. And what you're going to do is you're going to have that lamp jump in from off screen, and it has to stop. It has to stop because if it doesn't, it will die. Okay? So we've given our character here a problem to solve. So the problem is that they run out of ground, right? There's nowhere to land, and there's a big gap. So what we have to do when we tackle this as an animator, right? This is where we get into a little bit of performance. So this part, jumping in off screen, that's pretty straightforward to understand, right? We've done a bouncing ball several times. So the difference here is we have a bouncing character. What I'm doing with the lamp is I'm also using the same principles that we had with the tail ball. And I'm also looking at some poses, oops, like this. What would we call this and this? Squash and stretch, but we're not physically stretching the lamp, right? Like silly putty. What we're looking at is basically extension and compression. So two other ways to say the same thing, squash and stretch. So what we have are two masses. So we have the head of the lamp and we have the base, and then we have the flexible material in between them that we're going to use to animate. Okay, so two masses. Now, usually what you'll do is you'll focus on one first. So in this case, the thing that is leading, what's leading is the base. So I'm leading with that. Now, when I look at the pose design, right, some of the examples here, the reason I'm doing or making some of the choices I am is because I know this will be more interesting. If I drew the lamp landing like this with the base flat, right, it would feel a bit more static. By landing just on the edge of the base, it helps me lift that up and tell the audience that there's one point that it's going to hit. It also reminds me of how I land, right? Because I usually don't land flat-footed. It'll usually be one part of my foot will hit first. When I'm running, it might be my heel that strikes the ground. It could be my toes. But I'm trying to mimic what you would see in a human being, right? So I was to draw like somebody's leg, and there's their shoe. This is what I'm trying to imitate here, is our heel hitting the ground. So I'm anthropomorphizing this a little bit. And I want to have a nice stretch pose, right? I'm landing on this edge. And then I'm also, if this is the direction I'm going, this is the primary. Primary force is down. What direction is drag? Opposite. Now, I can't physically lift the head up anymore because I run out of rig. I don't have any more rig. But what I can do is I can rotate. I can tilt this up. So just like if somebody was to just pull on your hip and snap you down, right? Your head would snap back up, right? It's whiplash, right? You would be pulled one way or the other. So I'm dragging up. So I'm going down and falling. I'm dragging up. And what that means is when the base hits, right? So at this frame, the base of the lamp has now stopped, right? It's gone from being on edge. It's now landed completely flat, but the head is still following through. So again, because the difference is the base has hit the ground, the head has not, right? So it's still falling. It needs to slow down. So it takes some time. The base hits the ground and stops right away, but the head of the lamp needs a few more frames to follow through. And then here I have a little jump, but this jump is more of a little hop. It's not the same jump you'd get with something like this. We're not leaping into the air to jump across yet. So it's a little hop, but even here, you can see with this little hop, what happens is I'm letting the head now leads, the head is leading and the base is following. So this is the first thing and then this is the second thing. So they're timed differently. The base will stay on the ground a little bit longer and then the head will go up. And then for the landing, I switch over. Now the base leads, so this is the first thing and then this is the second thing. So they're not timed to be exactly the same. So that's when you're using drag, overlap, and follow through so that things feel more organic. All right. But each one of them you could think of as basically two bouncing balls that are joined together with a chain, right? So they're joined together, but one will lead and it will pull the other one up. One will lead and the other will drag the other one down. So that's how we get that sense of connection between the two, that there's this link between them. Now, the other thing that's different about this assignment is we're introducing a little bit of one of my fun principles here, a little bit of acting, or better yet, performance. Okay, so for the character to perform, to act, right, really what we're trying to show, right, more than anything is thought. I need to show this character thinks. Okay, and that usually means I need time. So when we look at this at speed, character comes in and drops and then looks. Okay, so what's happening here is they stop moving, but it's very clear they're looking. They're looking at this, and what I want people to imagine is that there's a little thought bubble in here, right? This is, oh crap, right? Death, right? That's not good. And what I want to do is just to make sure the audience really gets it, is then I have the lamp look, right? And this is like, you know, what you think I'm thinking. You tell me, what do you think the lamp is thinking right now?
No way.
Huh?
Very tall.
Danger.
Right. So it might be thinking, that's far, right? Big drop, right? But it's very clear, right, that the lamp is aware of the situation. It understands, right? And the way I'm doing that is I'm taking these moments here. So what I'm doing is I'm having the character hold and look at the problem. So they look at the problem. They really look at the problem, okay? And then I have them look up, right? And the idea here is this, you know, but I want to go there, right? So I'm trying to tell the audience, again, very limited performance. I don't have eyeballs, a mouth, there's no dialogue, right? So all I have is the character. They jump in, they look where they want to go. And then what I want to sell to the audience is they're making a decision, right? They're going to jump. How do I know they're going to jump? Because they coil up, right? And then spring into action, right? So it's like, I'm going to jump. I'll do it, right? And then they jump and boom. Okay, and then they get across. And there's no more performance. Now, this is just an example for you to look at. The lamp must do these things. It must stop, right? It must assess the situation. It must then jump, and it must live. Okay, that's the assignment. Okay, the character survives. Now, I know in the past when I give this assignment, a lot of people may say, oh, can I change everything? No. So for this assignment, I want you to do just kind of what I did in the example. Have the lamp bounce in, look at the problem, look at where it wants to go, and then jump and keep going. If you want to do the director's cut, then by all means, do whatever the hell you want. Have fun, make a short film, go crazy.